He's one of metal's most admired guitarists, the man behind some of the most unforgettable solos in history. For decades, fans have seen Kirk Hammett as the quiet heart of Metallica, humble, passionate, and obsessed with his guitar collection and horror memorabilia. But behind the calm smile and soft-spoken interviews lies a storm few ever imagined, because throughout his incredible journey, Kirk has crossed paths with musicians who, for one reason or another, absolutely couldn't stand him, from jealous rivals to power struggles that nearly tore Metallica apart. Today, Legend Uncovered digs deep into the 7 artists who reportedly held nothing but resentment for Kirk Hammett. And number 1 on this list is the one name you'd never expect. Let's begin. 7. Yngwie Malmsteen. In the 1980s, 2 guitar worlds collided, one built on emotion, the other on perfection. Yngwie Malmsteen, the Swedish shred legend, was known for lightning-fast solos and classical precision. But Yngwie often dismissed Kirk's style as too simple. In old magazine interviews, Yngwie allegedly claimed that any decent guitarist could play Metallica riffs, and he publicly mocked Kirk's technique at guitar expos. Witnesses recall Yngwie playing a Metallica solo on stage, then smirking, "Now here's how it should sound." It was humiliating for Kirk. Friends say it cut deep, and he spent months improving his skills to prove he was more than just a rhythm player. The tension between feeling and technical mastery became a defining debate in the guitar world, one that still divides players to this day. 6. Kirk and Slash, 2 of the most iconic guitarists of the 1980s, should have been allies. But fame had other plans. When Guns N' Roses exploded, Slash became the face of cool, the hat, the smoke, the swagger. Kirk, meanwhile, was known as part of Metallica's machine. Brilliant, but rarely in the spotlight. Insiders claim that behind the scenes, Kirk envied Slash's media attention, while Slash dismissed Metallica's sound as too stiff. At award shows, the 2 men reportedly kept their distance. Slash's bluesy attitude clashed with Kirk's disciplined, metal precision, and though they never fought publicly, people close to them say their rivalry ran deep. Kirk once hinted in an interview that some guitarists got famous for posing, not playing. Fans knew exactly who he meant. 5. Jason Newsted. No one in Metallica's story suffered more than Jason Newsted, the bassist who joined after Cliff Burton's tragic death in 1986. Jason's early years in the band were filled with hazing, cruel jokes, and exclusion. And sadly, Kirk, the one member Jason thought would have his back, stayed silent. Studio engineers remember Jason's bass tracks being turned down so low they were barely audible. Behind the scenes, Kirk reportedly joined in on pranks that went too far. Jason once said he felt invisible, and though he never publicly blamed Kirk, insiders say the betrayal cut deep. Years later, Kirk admitted he regretted not standing up for Jason, but the damage was done. Their friendship never recovered, and the emotional scars never truly healed. 4. Ted Nugent. If there's one feud that went beyond music, it's this one. Ted Nugent, the outspoken conservative rocker, has attacked countless musicians for their liberal beliefs. And Kirk was one of his favorite targets. Kirk, a supporter of environmental causes and gun control, represented everything Ted despised. In interviews, Nugent accused Hollywood rockers of being anti-American, clearly referring to Kirk and others like him. At one charity event, things reportedly got heated when Ted confronted Kirk in person. Witnesses say security had to intervene before the 2 came to blows. Today, the 2 men remain bitter enemies, polar opposites in every way imaginable. 3. Lou Reed. 2011. Metallica joined forces with Lou Reed for the experimental album Lulu. What was meant to be an artistic dream quickly became a nightmare. Lou treated Metallica not as collaborators, but as his backing band. He allegedly shut down Kirk's creative input completely, ignoring his suggestions and even mocking his ideas in front of the crew. When Lulu finally released, it was torn apart by critics and fans alike. Kirk's confidence took a massive hit. Insiders say he felt humiliated, trapped in a project he couldn't control and blamed for an album he didn't believe in. Even after Lou's passing, the memory of Lulu remains one of Kirk's most painful chapters. 2. Dave Mustaine. This rivalry is the oldest and perhaps the most famous. Before Kirk ever joined Metallica, Dave Mustaine was their original lead guitarist. But in 1983, his addiction and violent temper got him kicked out, replaced by none other than Kirk Hammett. Dave saw Kirk as the man who stole his destiny. For decades, he's taken shots at Kirk, saying he wasn't that good and only got the job because of luck. Whenever Kirk stepped on stage, Dave saw a ghost of what could have been. Even after Megadeth's success, the bitterness never faded. At events, they reportedly avoid each other entirely. To this day, fans can feel the chill whenever their names appear in the same sentence. 1. James Hetfield. This one's the hardest to believe. For over 40 years, James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett have stood side by side on stage, brothers in metal. But behind closed doors, insiders claim their relationship is built on unspoken resentment and control. James allegedly makes all major creative decisions in Metallica, from song structure to solos, often cutting or changing. Kirk's work without warning. Financially, too, the balance isn't equal. Sources say James and Lars earn far more than Kirk. Even though all three shaped Metallica's empire, those closest to the band say Kirk has learned to stay quiet, afraid to challenge James for fear of being frozen out. It's a friendship bound by history, but haunted by power struggles and silence.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.